Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and it's time to review Season 1, Episode 3 of Ahsoka, Disney Plus's Ahsoka, Star Wars Ahsoka, whatever. This episode's called Time to Fly, and they do quite a lot of flying in this, and a bit of landing. But it was okay. I didn't mind the episode. It wasn't the greatest thing. I did have some issues with it, but we'll get into that as we go. It's a short episode compared to the first two. It's less than 30 minutes if you take out the recap at the beginning and the credits at the end. So they're doing it again, aren't they? They do this all the time on Disney Plus, and I don't know why. It's baffling to me. I don't know why. It's as though they're saying, well, we can do things any length we want because it's on a streaming service and it's not going to be on regular TV. You know, so where you've got to allow for advertise. Things have got to be a set length, haven't they, for broadcast television. And you've got to allow for commercials and stuff like that. But they're saying, because it's streaming, we can do whatever we want. It can be whatever length we want them to be, as though they're not thinking of the future. Anyway, so let's just get on with it and let's have a look and see what's happening. Right, so we begin. Right, I forgot to mute it, never mind. Lucasfilm logo, the faces, and we're in hyperspace, and we're on the, I don't know what the name of her ship is. Does it have a name? Probably. I don't know. But we come across Sabine Wren and Huyang, probably pronouncing that wrong, training, because remember, he's over 500 years old, and he used to train younglings at the Jedi Academy, whatever, Jedi Temple, and he used to help them build their lightsabers. And here he's helping Sabine train. She's using her wooden, I forgot what they call it, a bokken or whatever, a sword, and he's kind of a bit like General Grievous, as we'll see there. He's got multiple arms, which I didn't realise he had last time, or maybe it's a backpack he's wearing. I don't know. But he's training with her, and he says she does, acceptable but not good. We did learn last week that he told her that of all the Padawans he's worked with over the centuries, she is the least aptitude to the Force. And I think they're trying to say here that, and she says it herself, actually, does Sabine, that she's not Force sensitive, but I think she's going to end up being Force sensitive. Apologies, I'm just adjusting that. But they can see where her strikes have hit, and apparently that's not good. It's just okay. For God's sake, bloody thing. Right, so off we go. Right, so anyway. So Ahsoka was obviously observing, and I like Rosario Dawson, and I thought she was fine as Ahsoka in Mandalorian and a bit in Boba Fett, but in her own series so far, she seems really aloof and just not like the Ahsoka we know. I know she's supposed to be older, more mature, but the Ahsoka we know from Clone Wars and Rebels were a really empathic person and cared a lot about people. And maybe she still does care, but she's just not showing it. So I got that down to direction myself. Maybe Dave Filoni's not a good, although Dave Filoni's not directing this episode, it's Steph Green, but maybe his script direction isn't very clear. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so Ahsoka takes over the training. This is where we have a callback to A New Hope. There's a few callbacks to A New Hope in this episode. They're pulling out all the stops, really. So she puts a visor on. There we go. I can't see. How am I supposed to fight? But Ahsoka doesn't say the one thing which I expected her to say. She doesn't say to her, reach out with your feelings, which is what you're supposed to say, isn't it? But she doesn't say that to her. So she does some practice. She doesn't get a training drone out, or whatever they call them. She doesn't get that out. She just trains her. And she's just walking out and tapping her on the shoulder. And eventually, Sabine anticipates her moves, but she's not using the Force, and she admits it, that she's not using the Force. It's just her basically her weapon skills that are seeing her through these sessions. But anyway, so she's good with weapons, just not good with the Force. Right, so Then we cut to the Rebel fleet. We see some A-wings. Are they A-wings? I think they are. Hang on. Here we go. There you go. I'll just play a bit. What the heck? There you go. Cool Rebel fleet. Lots of Mon Calamari ships and stuff. And oh, look, a blockade running down there. You can't see it for me. Never mind. Never mind. So, I presume we're on home one here. We see Hearers here, along with various others. Look, a white protocol droid and various people. A Mon Calamari. Right, so she's off for a meeting with various senators and the Chancellor of the New Republic, Mon Mothma, played by the lovely Genevieve O'Reilly. There they are. There's Genevieve in the middle. Don't ask me the names. I'm sure they all have names. Maybe it'll tell them in the subtitles. I wasn't paying any attention. But they're all, essentially, they're all useless. The useless senators who don't understand what's going on. Showing that the New Republic it's failing even before it's kind of had chance to begin. Right, so Hearers wanting basically a fleet to go out to the, is it Daneb system, something like that, where the bad guys are building the big hyperspace ring, because they want to go to another galaxy where Thrawn is, remember. And she's telling them that, there were Imperials who are still loyal to the Empire working, throughout the Republic, basically. And I think Mon Mothma does realise this, but she's got to play politics, basically. She's not all-powerful. She's not the Emperor. She can't tell the other senators what to do. She can just consult with them. But, so she wants a Republic fleet to go out and check on the goings-on out at, is it Cetos, the name of the planet where they're building it. Right, so, but, they accuse Hera of it being a personal quest for her to find Ezra Bridger. And she says it's nothing to do with that, because she does mention Thrawn. As Hera, she thinks Thrawn's people are behind this. Anyway, so, they basically tell her no, essentially. They say, can we have a word, can we confer in private? So she leaves the room, and this is where we meet Jason Syndulla, and Chopper. We meet her son, Jason Syndulla, who's also the son of, what's his face from Rebels? I forgot his name now. Kanan Jarrus. So we meet her son with his green hair. Anyway, then we're back on whatever Ahsoka's ship is called. So they're talking about her training and how basically she can't feel the Force. She goes, and not like you do. And Ahsoka shows that it's talent's a factor, but it's also training and focus. So she's essentially saying the Force is in every living thing, which we know. It's the Force is an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us and penetrates us. It binds the galaxy together. She doesn't say that, but it says it's in all living things. But they never mention midichlorians. Midichlorians is not mentioned because that was George Lucas's way of saying, even though the Force is everywhere, you need midichlorians to converse with the Force and use it. But we never learn what Sabine's midichlorian count is. Do you think they're trying to move away from that? Probably. Anyway, so Ahsoka shows that she can move a cup with her hand. She uses the Force to draw a cup towards her. And says, start. She says to her, start small. Then Ahsoka's called to the bridge, or cockpit, whatever the hell it is. The cockpit, we'll call it. And she's talking to Hyang about Sabine, saying, Hyang says, she'll never be a good Jedi or whatever. And Ahsoka says, I don't want her to be a Jedi, I want her to be herself. She's trying to use the Force to move the cup, but it doesn't work. So she's called to the cockpit because there's a message from Hera. Hera tells her that, they're on their own, basically. They're not going to get a fleet. Not even one ship, apparently. So they're on the way to Cetos. There you go, they drop out of hyperspace, quite far from the planet. Not super far, but reasonably far. Element of surprise and all that. But obviously it's not as big a surprise as I thought it was, because 6 fighters emerge and start attacking them. There they are, 6 fighters. 4 of them are slightly different to the others, to the 2 of them. 2 of them are piloted by, I forgot his name. Is it Merak? I can't remember his name. The mysterious Inquisitor-like character we met last week. And Shin Hati. And then the other 4 are just, red shirts, basically. But these fighters, they're kind of a mix between Naboo starfighters and the fighters that we see in the film Wing Commander. That's what they remind me of, anyway. Which is a film I quite like, to be honest. Right, so they're under attack. She's getting in the tail gun, is Sabine. So we have a cool space battle, and even Kevin Kiner, the composer of the music, even does a little TIE fighter attack sting. Din, 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 din. Little bit of that. Not a lot, but a little bit. But here we go. Like I say, it's the battle begins. And obviously the 4 red shirts get taken out, and we're just left with the 2 main bad guys in the end. But they've got to keep approaching this big hyperspace ring while Hayang does his scans. I don't know, they must have rubbish scanners. They've got to get really close to it to do a full scan. But as they're getting closer, they're still being attacked and all that jazz. But when they get close enough to the hyperspace ring, which is where we are here with Morgan Elsbeth, she activates the turbo lasers, which are obviously more powerful than a ship's, blasters or whatever. So there they are. They open fire. The fighters are broken off, and so they open fire. And he gets he finishes his scan, does Hyang, but it's too late. They get hit. The shields fail. They get hit and they're disabled. There we go. Look, there we go. They get disabled. And as soon as they're close to the ring, the ring, its scanners can't pick them up anymore. I suppose it's a callback to Empire Strikes Back, where the Millennium Falcon hid by attaching itself to the Star Destroyer, didn't it? And I thought that's what was going to happen here. I thought we were going to see Ahsoka's ship on the underside of the ring, but no, it's there. It's drifting. It's damaged, so they've got to repair it. Sabine gets busy with repairs, and Shin Hati and the Inquisitor chap, who some are suggesting could be Ezra. I don't know, but it could be. It seems to have a male voice, but that doesn't mean anything, does it? Remember Solo, a Star Wars story. But the fighters begin their attack again. I don't know why she just doesn't blow them up with the turbo lasers. Maybe they haven't got them pointing that way. Don't know. But so while Sabine's repairing the ship, by the way, Hayang's disabled as well in this explosion when they were disabled. Ahsoka says she's going to distract them. So out she comes in a spacesuit onto the hull of the ship that's just drifting because they've no power at all. Well, not much. There's no propulsion and no weapons. So she just gets out and you ready. Activates her lightsabers. And for some bizarre reason, there's the hyperspace ring in the background. The effects are amazing, by the way. They're really good. Good visual effects. For some weird reason, they're just shooting at Ahsoka and not shooting at the ship. Which is adrift with no shields. Why don't they just blow up the ship? But they don't. They attack Ahsoka and she's deflecting the bolts with her lightsabers. And then she gets this one. You can tell this is a red shirt ship because it doesn't have the end parts, the end fins on the wings. And she does this. There you go. So he's done for. But doing that, she's floating through space. But Sabine fixes the ship and she allows Ahsoka to reconnect. She must have like gravity boots or something, I don't know. Or maybe she uses the Force. But she gets back in to the ship and they head down to the planet. to Cetos. So they're flying through the clouds with Shin Hati and Marok, whatever, in pursuit. And then they come across, here we go, are you ready? There we go, Purgils, like a huge school, I suppose they are, of, the space whales, what they're doing, floating through the clouds, I don't know. Maybe they're feeding, I don't know. But they're flying through these whales, this pod of whales, with the baddies still shooting at them. And it's all very, very nice. By the way, I saw a video where I think it was Nerd Theory, Star Wars Theory, and the other fella, Josh from Nerd, whatever. I forgot what they call his show, him. And Josh suggested that Purgils are going to be the scout ships, or the ships of the bad guys from the other galaxy. He showed a concept drawing by Dave Filoni, so that was interesting. But we will see. It was something that we're going to do in the Clone Wars, but it never happened. Anyway, so they lose the fighters. In the midst of all this Purgle activity, they lose the fighters and they drop down, land in this red forest. It's kind of similar to the red forest we saw in Star Trek Into Darkness, wasn't it? But never mind. So they land and shut everything down and just wait. Obviously, they mustn't have very good scanners. It's supposed to be like, what is it, a Type 1, a Type 2 civilization that, there's amazing stuff, but they've also got rubbish scanners and they don't have thermal imaging. They can't find a hot ship that's just landed, even though all its engines are off. It'd still be heat coming from the engines, wouldn't there? Or just detecting a big metallic signature in the middle of the forest. I don't know. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. I'm overthinking. I'm being overcritical, probably. Anyway, so they lose them, so they can effect repairs on the ship and they reactivate Hayang. And so it tells us, it tells them what we already know from his scans, that it is a hyperspace ring, and it's got 6 hyperdrive engines attached, and they're in the process of attaching the last one. And somebody asks, I think it's Ahsoka asks, could this take somebody to another galaxy? And he says, yes, he supposes so. And then we learn that, there's Jedi legends or old stories about ancient hyperspace lanes that lead to other galaxies that the Purgles use, and that people a long time ago used as well. So is this what they're trying to do, go to another galaxy? There we go. So there's that. And then we're at this ancient site, again, like Stonehenge in it, sort of thing, built by people from another galaxy, we learned last week. This is Balin Skoll, who this is his only part in the episode, but it's he steals the show again, does Ray Stevenson, just by his mere presence, and his screen presence is amazing. Rest in peace. But he says they're out there in the forest, they're hiding in the forest, find the Jedi, and so his soldiers and his HK droids, I presume, are going, and that's it. That's the end of that episode. We see him looking again. Like I said, more emotion in in Ray Stevenson's face than in any other characters, in all the other characters combined. He's a conflicted man, I think. He doesn't want to do what he's doing. He said last week it'd be a shame to kill the Jedi, but I think he's going to switch sides before the end and going to redeem himself, sacrifice himself probably. We will see. But that's it. That's the end. That's the end of that episode. It was a short one. They crammed quite a bit in, to be completely honest. We had a good space battle. Although there wasn't too many callbacks to A New Hope. Is it desperation, perchance? Could be. Don't know. The training session with Ahsoka and Sabine went on a little bit too long for my tastes, where she was tapping her on the shoulder and all that. It did go on, it didn't last a really long time, but it just felt like it did. It seemed to drag out a bit. But it was nice to see Jason Syndulla, because people were asking where he was, and then we find out he's there. He's on the ship with Hera, so there we go. Is he going to be strong with the Force? You'd think he would be, seeing as his father's Kanan Jarrus, a Jedi. Or his father was Kanan Jarrus, who was no longer with us. Will Kanan Jarrus appear as a Force ghost at some point? Did he learn how to do that? I don't know. Probably not. But and there we go. That's about it. As I said, I'm enjoying it. I don't hate it. I'll watch it, and I'm kind of liking it, but I'm just not feeling anything as I'm watching it. It's all quite sterile, and there's no apart from Ray Stevenson, I'm not getting any emotion from the characters. They're all bland and as I said before, sterile and emotionless. Where's Ahsoka's empathy? That was her whole thing in the Clone Wars. Her empathy to other creatures and all that, and people. She were all about, unconditional love. What Ahsoka, that were her thing, and helping people. But she seems a bit aloof and distant at the moment. Maybe that's deliberate. I don't know, but I've got a feeling it's not. But anyway, so that's it. That's the end of that episode. As I said, it was a short one. Got to wait till next week now to see what happens next week. We're nearly halfway through the season. No sign of Thrawn yet. They haven't even set off in their hyperspace ring. I presume it'll happen before the end. They'll save it for the last episode, won't they? That's what they'll do. They'll save it for the last episode. There'll be a big battle in the last episode. They'll be trying to stop it. Hera will arrive, I bet, with a small fleet that she's managed to cobble together, I bet, Rogue One style. I bet she does. And there'll be a big battle around this ring. Other baddies ships will arrive. I bet this is, I'm guessing. And but they'll fail and it'll go off. And I bet we learn that the Inquisitor chap, he'll take off his helmet and it'll be Ezra. I forgot his name, man. And it'll be Ezra, and it'll end on that. The series will end on that. But we'll see. I don't know. That's what I'm guessing. Right. So we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. As I said, I'm enjoying it, but it's all quite bland and, sterile. As I keep using that word, I'm sorry, but it just feels like that. But I don't hate it, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm watching it. It's a difficult. I can't explain it. I can't really explain what I mean. I don't have the vocabulary. I'm an idiot. It could be better, but I'm still going to give this episode. I'd give it a low score if it weren't for the space battle, which I quite enjoyed. But the Ahsoka part of it was stupid, where she was outside using her lightsabers. Why didn't they just blow up Ahsoka's ship while she's standing on the hull? I don't know. Why did they shoot at her so she could deflect the bolts with her lightsabers? I've no idea. So no, I am going to get a low score. A low score for me anyway. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Even though I did quite enjoy the space battle until the Ahsoka bit. But apart from that, it was nice to see the Purgles again, even though I don't really understand how they work. But never mind. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other, and until next time, I'll say thee.